All right, what is good, everybody? Jackson Cool back with another podcast. I don't have a name for it yet, but today I'm with my guy, longtime friend Josh Hutton. Glad to have you here, my guy.
Thanks for
Um,
having me.
no problem. But let me start with this. I didn't know where I want to start, but I'm going to start all the way in the back. Do you remember how we met?
Miss Arillo's class, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Miss Arillo's English class.
In sixth grade. I remember that so vividly. And we had to pick partners for like a project or something. And you looked at me or I turned back and you were looking at me and you're like, yo, let's work together. And then from then on, bro, we were like this.
Yeah,
Shit, bro. I fucking miss those days.
I know.
Like,
Running
remember?
track and cross country.
Yeah, dude. And we just in track, we were going on like 6 mile runs, just me and you.
Yeah, it was just us. We were
Yeah,
unstoppable.
yeah. Speaking of that, now you guys didn't really get in the spring season, right? You didn't even start really.
We had 1 week.
Yeah.
How about you
Uh,
guys?
Out here in Cali, we had a few meets. Season started late February and
Oh
it got cut
wow.
off like mid March. So we had a few meets in there, a few invitationals, a few league meets. So it wasn't the season was just getting started. And for you, are you still interested in running? Like, or were you kind of like burnt out and like done with it?
I was burnt out. I didn't
Yeah.
want to run at all. I was
Yeah.
actually thinking about quitting track.
Really?
Yeah, that's how much I didn't want to do it. But
Even with your team being that good?
yeah, I'd like the thing is I had absolutely no motivation.
Yeah. I kind of felt the similar way, but I was just ready to just give it my all the last season and then be done. Because for me, I became so injury prone and like to perform well, like in my body to work good, I had to like eat like perfectly and like
Mhm.
drink like a specific amount of water and like do like hella stretching and fucking
Yeah,
I got the
stretching
hyper
is
ball
key.
on me all the time. So
Uh-huh.
for me, I was ready to just call it quits after this season and it got cut short. So I was like, damn, that's tough. But
Yeah,
um
that's a thing. I didn't even want to do it, but now that I'm not doing it, I miss it so much.
yeah,
And I can't believe like I'm not running my senior year.
yeah, exactly. Um So for a long time, running was our passion, and of course, you were a good swimmer too. But what's your passion now? Like, what are you looking forward to doing each day now?
I love lifting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I've
talked
been
about this a little bit.
I've been
You,
trying to bulk up.
hmm
So like I don't know if you know this, but all through high school, like I would constantly just spend hours and hours watching like YouTube videos and stuff like that
uh-huh.
on how to work out. And I
Um,
always wanted to just lift and not do anything else.
hmm
Um, and 2 summers ago was my first time ever bulking,
hmm
and like that's when I put on a lot of size, and that helped me with sports my junior year.
Yeah,
But it's kind of crazy after all those 4 years. Like sports are over, and now I'm doing what I've been wanting to do for the
yeah.
longest time.
And do you kind of regret that? Kind of waiting those 4 years to then do what you wanted to do, or are you okay with kind of just doing it for sports and then doing it for yourself?
Honestly, like I thought that I would regret not doing this like 4 years ago, but
Yeah.
I'm glad that I stuck with sports.
hmm Yeah,
And
there's so many memories made through
yeah,
that.
there's so many memories.
Um, Bro, we used to be twigs, right?
I know.
So if you look at old pictures of us at the beach or whatever, bro, we're like
It's
this.
bad, dude. It looked like we were from the Holocaust.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad, dude.
It's crazy because now you can look at yourself and like, are you proud of how far you've come?
Yeah, I am.
You have to be like, how much you've grown a lot just in this past year, past 2 years alone. Do you have like a
Yeah.
range of like how much weight you've gained? Like,
So the let me see. The beginning of the summer, going in before my junior year, I was 135, and
yeah,
at the end of the summer, I was 150.
Hmm.
And as of this morning, I'm 157.8.
How tall are
So
you?
I'm 5'8".
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I think a few days ago I was 151 even, and I'm 6 foot, bro. So, but hey, I've been
As long,
bulking up. So a few weeks back, I was at 146, 147. That was my
yeah,
average.
wow, you put on a lot of weight.
151. Yeah. So now that I have free time and
Hmm.
like I want to start lifting too, and kind of bulk up. Not like you, like you're fucking big, bro. But like
Nah,
just,
I'm not that big.
bro, you're getting there though. A lot of people back home have gotten big though. Like,
Yeah, Jacob got big.
yeah.
No, yeah, a lot of people got big.
Were you guys lifting together, or because like I know that you go to the gym with Colin, but was it like kind of like everybody was doing it together?
Yeah, everyone was doing it together. It was it's kind of sad because right before all this happened,
Uh,
everyone got a retro membership.
uh,
So I would go with Colin. I'd see like there would actually be 20 kids from Barnet there, which was really cool.
yeah, that's pretty fucking dope. I won't lie. Um, yeah. So with the running, growing up, bro, we were so competitive against each other, and we both wanted to be the best.
Hmm.
I remember our last cross country season together. You got sick with like pneumonia or something. You had something
Yeah,
on your chest, right? Did you have a lot of like
mhm,
sicknesses or
for
illnesses
my
or
season.
injuries throughout high school, or did that kind of stop after that?
No, yeah, actually, I guess my immune system has always been bad,
Yeah,
but it's been terrible throughout high school. Like I
really.
get sick at least once every season, swim
Yeah,
season, because it were like always wet and cold.
yeah.
I'm literally sick for 3 months straight.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's kind of interesting. So I think the first case of the coronavirus was sometime in December, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, in January, our entire swim team got sick,
Oh, that's right.
and everyone thought it was the flu, right?
Yeah.
And Colin, he went and got tested to
Uh-huh.
see if it was a flu, and it wasn't. But it had all the like. Now that we look back, it was all the
Yeah.
exact same symptoms of the coronavirus.
Swear.
So I may have already gotten it. I don't even know.
Yeah. And I think that's what's the crazy thing is like for athletes that are like very conditioned, that can go by just like that and they don't even know that they had it, right?
Yeah,
But even for you with the weaker immune system compared to most, you still kind of got through it without being like, oh shit, I got the coronavirus, right? Like,
yeah, no,
so that's kind of crazy to think about. Now, there's been all these reports about like when quarantine is going to end, right? And things like that.
hmm
Like, how do you kind of feel about all the news going around and like whether it's fake news, real news, when the quarantine's actually going to end? Like, are you okay with quarantine? Like,
yeah. To be honest, I feel kind of bad saying this because like I'm like one in a million out of all the seniors, but
yeah,
I'm thriving right now in quarantine.
yep,
And honestly, it's like made me realize that I'm done with high school.
yep,
Like I feel like I could just move on to bigger and better things with my life.
mm-hmm,
And I've already started it. And I feel like if we were to go back to school, I would just be backtracking.
yep. Same. That's exactly how I feel. Like, and that's what I want seniors to understand is like, school's done, bro. Like, I stopped
Yeah.
giving a fuck about school. Like, I do my schoolwork and whatever. Right? I
Yeah,
take
I
my
don't give a
tests,
fuck about
whatever.
school.
Boom, done. Right? I got AP exams in like 2 weeks, whatever. Do
Hmm.
those, done. Right? But I've started to like do these things that I've been scared to do my whole life, right? And like all this free time
Yeah.
dedicating to like longer workouts, like shit like reading, like trying to get myself better up here, right? And learn more. And it's like people are like so stuck on like want to go back to school and like live the life they had before that they're just
Hmm.
waiting for shit that's not going to happen because we're already done,
Yeah,
right?
no, we're definitely not going back to school.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just need to learn that like I mean, we only had like 2, 3 months of school left anyway.
Yeah, like I I think it's just, I mean, there's even been reports that we start school early, kind of like, so if it's essentially school got out in April and we start school in July, But even then, all these kids that are graduating high school are going to go to college. Like, it's still, you have to move forward. There's no moving back here.
Yeah.
So I don't see why don't people just start pursuing what they want now, right? And you don't have to know what you want to pursue, right? You just know that you're into weightlifting, right? So keep
Yeah.
working your ass off at that, and eventually it'll take you somewhere. Like it's bound
That's
to
the
happen.
goal.
Yeah,
Hopefully, a year from now, I'll make a 1 year transformation video and I'll go viral. And
yeah.
then, nah, but I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So speaking of that, and like you started your own YouTube channel, right?
Yeah,
I subbed, I got you, and you posted once, only once, about a month ago, and it was a workout video. How consistent will you be with that in the future?
honestly, like filming that was so much fun.
Yeah.
Editing, I didn't realize how much work all that was.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always wanted to do that, like you said.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't like. I just feel like I don't have that good of content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to just make a video kind of like about nothing and just record my day. I want
Yeah.
to be doing like dope shit. So
And,
actually, once this is done, I already hit this airport up. Well,
hmm.
I don't even know what you want to call it to go skydiving.
Yeah. That's dope.
So I want to just start like doing all these cool things.
And I think that's great because like you come out of this, you're in lockdown, you're like, oh shit, and a bunch of people are gonna like just be relieved to be able to go outside. You're gonna start living your life, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna only be able to experience like once in a lifetime, maybe a few times. And that's kind of the purpose of all this is like your life is short, you gotta live it, right? So once you come out of here, you gotta start pursuing what you want to pursue. Don't wait for the right moment.
Hmm. And don't go
And
back to like your old life.
yeah, don't go back, right? And I think you should start setting like the steps for where you want to be in quarantine, right? Because of course, there's occasionally a lack of resources, right, and what you
Yeah.
need and what you want to get. But also, there's also a lack of resourcefulness if you can't make it work while you're stuck inside the house.
Exactly.
So it goes both ways. Um, because the reason I asked that question about the YouTube is I don't know if you know Bradley Martin, but
Oh yeah, I know Bradley
yeah,
Martin.
Bradley Martin's huge, but that's not the point. I feel like you could work your way into a role of something like that as like an influencer who is really into fitness and bodybuilding and like weight.
Uh
And of course, Bradley Martin is like four of you, right, in size
yeah.
comparison. But also, I know your work ethic, and you could get there, right? And I don't know if that's what you're necessarily looking for in like your size and your build, but I think that's something that you could definitely look into, right? Unless you
Mhm.
want to like go out and compete, like you want to compete as a bodybuilder.
Nah, I could see the thing is like I spend a lot of time watching like bodybuilding things and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like this is kind of sad, but like just with my genetics, I could take all the steroids in the world
Uh-huh.
and I would never win.
Really.
Because like when it comes to bodybuilding aesthetics,
Mhm.
um I just don't have it.
Yeah.
Which is I mean, it's kind of hard for me to like know that and it's kind of disappointing cuz like no matter no matter how hard I work, I'll never be able to get there, but like I've realized that I don't care about that. Like
Yeah.
I just like working out and grinding.
Mhm.
And you're right. I think I could pursue some sort of social media influencing when it comes to fitness.
And I think that's kind of the way the world is going in is like everybody wants to be an influencer,
Hmm.
right? Everybody wants to be a YouTuber and they have no motive with
Yeah.
what they're doing. The reason I started on Instagram was to help people because I had changed my own life and my own mental state and I kind of just let all the bullshit go. Right. And I
Yeah.
stopped caring what people think and I started living my
That's
life.
a big thing.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. And I used to like live my life for other people. And I wanted
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, inspire that on other people and what I was learning and what I continued to learn. And for you, you want to inspire people that they're capable of anything, right? If you just put
Yeah.
in the work. That's
Mhm.
kind of the message behind that. And although it's an underlying message, right? That's not up front, right? Because if you got you benching fucking 300, it doesn't look like that.
No one's thinking
But
that.
you started out benching probably like 70 when you were
Exactly.
back in
Yeah.
like 8th grade. So it doesn't, people don't get the process. And I think that's the thing of like, we grew up together. You know that I worked my ass off to get where I
Yeah.
was, and I know you worked your ass off to get to where you are.
Hmm.
And even though we didn't get to go through high school together, I think it's a lot of mutual
Oh
respect
yeah,
for each other.
for sure.
Yeah.
We both like it's kind of crazy. Like we would grind in middle school. Do you
Mhm.
remember doing like abs during gym? Do you
Yeah,
remember
bro.
that in that little gym in middle school?
Yeah.
But that's the cool thing. Like, yeah, we have different lives now and whatnot,
Yeah.
but we both kept the same like mindset where we
Mhm.
just grind for like the things that we want to achieve.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. It's all about the mindset, right? And anything you do. And another thing I want to bring up, going back to running, is you basically introduced me to running. You really did, because like,
Really?
yeah, think about it. We met in Mr. Rowe's class, and then we had gym together, and
Yeah.
then we started doing that like 3.25 or like, yeah, 3/4 mile run in PE.
Yeah, yeah, and we'd always race.
Yeah, we'd always race at the end, and everyone would sprint out, right? And we start out slow. We'd start out like fourth and fifth, right? And fucking Isaiah would be sprint his ass off, and then we get him halfway through, right? And then it would
Yep.
just be me and you racing to the finish. Like, that's the shit I miss, bro. Like, back
Competing,
when
yeah, with each
running
other.
running was just fun, right? And then it
Yeah.
got so competitive. And I
No,
think that's why
you're
we
right.
burnt out. I think that's why we burnt out.
That's so true. Because the reason why I kind of like I like track, but the
Yeah.
reason why I really didn't want to do it, it wasn't even the running. It was just the mindset for track. It's so
Mhm.
serious
Yeah.
and it's just not fun.
Yeah. And for me, it took me a while to realize that. Like, my junior year, when I converted from like the 2 mile and the mile to the mile and the 8, and I need to
Mhm.
put some speed on me, I didn't get how like serious the 800 needed to be and how serious you need to take like every single fucking stride, bro.
Yeah.
Because your junior year, you started to bulk up and you went too flat, right? Or did you
I went
go?
159.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing, right? And just think
Mhm.
about what you would have been able to do if you got this season, right?
Dude, I know. I was third in the county.
Yeah.
And the kid that was first, I think he went like 156. But
Uh-huh.
the thing is, this kid, he went 156 his freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year.
Gosh.
So he probably already peaked.
Yeah.
Which I've been improving since then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's a chance that I could have been number one in the county. There's a
Yeah.
chance that the school record was 155.9. And like I
Oh,
really that
yeah.
was my only motivation really for
Yeah.
track was the individual 800 record and then the 4x8 because we could have made it to states.
Yeah, that would have been cool. You guys took that 4x8 record last year, though, right?
Yeah, we smashed it.
Yeah, you guys had a phenomenal team. I was low key
Dude,
jealous. I won't lie.
you could have been on. I mean, it is what it is, but like you would have been
Yeah.
on that team.
And I mean, the thing about it is, it would have been a perfect fit because at that point, if this becomes a whole what if, right?
Yeah.
I broke my leg my sophomore year. If you didn't know, I broke my leg in the summer heading into sophomore year. That fucked up my
Mm-hmm.
whole sophomore season, right?
Yeah. How did
So
you break it?
I had a fucking trampoline. Uh, yeah, it's a long story. So I broke my leg on a trampoline. I was out for like 4 months, right? I missed cross country season. That was my shit, right?
Yeah.
As a freshman, I placed like top 10 in our
Mhm.
league. And then I went on and I got like second place in the freshman. So like I was like doing pretty good my freshman year. And then
Yeah.
sophomore year I had to sit out. And then I rushed myself back because I was like, I need to grind. I need to grind to get back up. I'm gonna be number one on the team. And then I was, but then I fucked up my Achilles because my form was all jacked up.
Uh,
So then I had to deal with the even worse and even longer process injury, and I was like, fucking hell, man, I can't win with this shit. But um, I think me going back to Barnegat and being a mile guy, especially
yeah,
this year after Garrett is gone, right? Because what was he at? He was like 430s.
yeah. He went 430. He went like 430. Something in the 430s. It was low 430s.
And that's kind of where you were at too, right?
I went for well. I mean, this is a whole what if thing.
Yeah.
But last year I ran the mile once,
Uh-huh.
and I went 440.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, maybe I could have gone 430. Maybe I couldn't have. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. But yeah, because if you think about it, you put that 800 team together, right? Who was that?
It was last year it was Gareth, Peter, Tyler, and I.
Yeah,
And this year we lost Gareth,
yeah.
and we really didn't know who. It was either going to be Gino.
What's he like? 10?
Yeah, he's like 210. I
Yeah,
think he went. I think he went like 210 indoor.
yeah.
So
That's
he
good.
probably could have gone like 205 outdoor,
Yeah,
which is like that would have been good enough
yeah.
because if all me, Tyler, and Peter got better, like me, Peter and I definitely would have been under 2. Tyler probably would have been 2 flat, and Gino would have been like 205.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely like could have gone pretty far, but
Yeah. Because I was talking specifically for that mile. Like, if you got that 4x8, right, and then you got you and Tyler in the 8 or something like that, and then me and
yeah,
Peter in the mile, right,
that would be
in the
crazy,
2, because I probably would have stuck with distance if I was still there. That would have been crazy. That's a crazy team.
dude. Like that would have been so clutch too, because like if we had one more kid on our
Yeah,
distance team, we would be insane
yeah,
because our sprints are insane. Our throws are really good. Our jumps, we're lacking this year to be honest, because we lost all the big ass black kids. Like, dude, my freshman year, we had like 8 kids jumping over 20 feet on long jump.
Shit, swear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was wild. Like
that's
easily, they're
crazy.
all jumping over 20.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, damn, I wish I was on that team. But being on this team here, it taught me a lot about myself and like
Hmm.
being a leader and being a team player. But I do think that cross country, he, I would have helped the team a lot more. Because who was your top cross country runner, Peter?
Yeah, Peter. We were terrible this season, to be
Yeah.
honest.
What times was he running?
Maybe like 16:30.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Pretty.
because
You probably would have been with them, to be honest.
yeah, I ended the season at a 1650. But the thing is, California courses, they're
Yeah, all hills.
yeah,
Dude,
so
that's wild that you went 1650.
yeah, so I mean that course wasn't terrible. We got kind of lucky. It was more of a New Jersey type course.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to hit like 3 hills throughout the course of the thing, but it was it wasn't bad. Usually, if they had like the fattest hills, like
Hmm.
it would go up for like you'd be on a hill for like 20 seconds straight, bro.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So if it was like one of those courses, I'd be like 1730s around there, uh,
Yeah.
low 17s. So it wasn't bad. I think I would have probably been way better longer distance if I stayed in Barnegat, but it is what it is. It's a
Who
whole what if.
knows?
It's a whole
Yeah.
what if.
But the thing is, like, everything in life happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
like, in my opinion, like, I don't want anything in my life to happen differently.
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because with all my experience in life, it forms the person that I am today.
Exactly. And as long as you're happy with who you are today, then you have nothing to regret. And I'm happy with who I am today. It's just when you go to a what if situation like that, you're thinking like I can retain all the information that I've gained from the situation that I've been put in, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So then I go and run for you guys. Then it's kind of like I didn't lose anything. I just gained being able to run with my guys. So, I mean, but that's not the case, right? It would have been totally different because, I mean, I think that team probably, I mean, were you like, you were captain probably, right? But did it have like true leadership on that team?
What team? Cross country?
Either or, cross country or track or,
Track, yeah. Cross country, no.
yeah. And
And I mean, it's kind of like cross country. We all just fucked around.
yeah.
Like it was Logan, Gino, and I as captains,
Hmm.
and I would never try at all. I would never try at all. We
Yeah.
actually so Aaron did cross country,
Yeah.
which was so much fun, and
Hmm.
we would just go pool hopping every single long run. So dude, we probably hit like 20 pools.
Sure.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that was pretty sick. But
See.
track, it's so serious
Hmm.
that like yeah, there was a lot of leadership. And then swimming too. I was a captain of swimming, and like that really helped me learn how to be a leader.
And yeah, I think that's probably the one where you learned the most because I feel like team, just from observing from like social media or whatnot, that one felt like the strongest like bond between everyone.
Yeah, man. Swimming, like we're just a family.
Yeah, and I
And the
feel like that's
reason,
how the all swim teams.
yeah, the reason why is our team we spend so much time together. Like our
Yeah.
practice, we have a 2 hour practice in the pool,
Hmm.
but with busing, changing, and all of that, it's a 4 hour practice.
Yeah.
So we're spending 20 hours a week together minimum.
Yeah.
And like when you spend that much time with someone, like everyone just gets super close.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, I know we kind of talked about how like we're done with high school, but are you gonna kind of miss having those relationships with those people, or do you think they'll kind of stay even though you've moved past high school?
I think they'll stay. I'm gonna definitely miss being on a team though.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing that I'll miss out of high school is just being on a team
Mhm.
because I mean there's no other feeling like having all these teammates, seeing them in school and stuff,
Yeah.
and then like grinding with them.
Uh-huh. Um, shit, I forgot what I was about to say, but I do have another story that I want to tell. Back from the past. Do you remember counties in seventh grade when we ran the mile together?
No, I don't think I do.
And it was when we had that picture, and it was with Garrett and Sam.
Oh yeah, yeah, Sam. Yep. No,
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was my first time falling in a race. I don't know if you remember, but I fell, right? And you came through like 5:30 or something like that, right? And you PR'd, and I came
Yeah.
through 5:46 because I was starting to make a move, and I was coming on the outside, and someone stepped on the back of my heel, and I fucking rolled all the way out to like lane 8. But so I think like the only reason I was so upset is because for so long I was like, bro, me and Josh are about to kill this season, bro, right? And it
Yeah.
was like the whole time, all we ever wanted was just to be good, but like to be good together, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's just true brotherhood right there. Like wanting each other to succeed, right? Because out in Cali, right, I've been on a team with some people that have only cared about individual accolades and their own individual success. And no matter how hard I try to implement like being a team and wanting each other to succeed, it doesn't always work.
Yeah,
It doesn't
definitely
always
not.
work, you know. And I mean, a lot of people don't see that, but I think here I've established like what it means to be a team, right? And I don't know how well I would have been able to do that if I stayed in Barnegat. So it goes back to the what if, like what would have happened if I left or if I stayed. And I think at the end of the day, I just got to be happy with the life I've lived.
Yeah, how everything turned out. I mean, dude, you're living in Cali, so
Yeah, it's yesterday it was probably like 80 degrees.
that's
So
wild. It
yeah,
was nice yesterday here too, actually. but it was like 60.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't miss that weather. But I was gonna come back this summer, but it got cut off because of COVID.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I mean, once this is all done, you could probably come back with cheap flights. I don't know if I mean, like, I feel like no one will want to travel as soon as this is over.
yeah.
So you probably get pretty cheap flights. I just realized, I don't know if you know this, but I'm moving this summer.
Really? To
I'm
where?
moving I'm moving to Delaware.
Oh, I think I did hear about that. So,
Yeah.
whole family's moving?
Just my mom, my dad, and I.
Yeah. All right. Is Caleb staying here?
Yeah,
Or
Caleb's renting with one of his friends, or he's going to.
yeah, that's pretty dope.
Hmm.
Are you going to college up in Delaware or?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason why I'm moving is because my grandparents are getting really old, and they need
Uh,
people to take care of them,
mhm.
and their house is big enough that we could all live there. So we're moving to their house. But I'm hopefully going to this college is called Delaware Technical Community College
Uh-huh.
for 2 years, and then hopefully I'll transfer to UDEL for the next two. And I want to become either a physical therapist or a chiropractor.
Mhm.
So those are both. I need to get my doctorates,
Yeah.
which is the main reason why I'm going to 2-year school first, because I'm already going to be going to school for 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's what happens with my life.
Yeah.
So I figured I might as well save money, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I think community college is becoming a better and better idea for like all students who don't know what they want to do,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And even if it's like you and you have a path like kind of built, but you're not entirely sure on that, just go for the 2 years and then by then you'll have a better idea of what you want to do. Then you can make a decision, right? Because I think a
Exactly.
lot of seniors feel pressure to be like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do this, but they really don't. And they don't really know what makes them happy at this point in time.
Yeah.
So they kind of just make a decision and then they need to keep changing. And yes, it's okay to change, right? And you need change in your life, but it's kind of, I don't think they're able to handle that. So I think it's definitely the best option.
What are you doing after high school?
I'm going to Diablo Valley College, which is community college out here, close to home. And it has the best like transfer rate to UC schools like UCLA, UC Berkeley, all those like University of California. So I'm thinking go there for 2 years, build a social platform, right? Whatever,
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, and then I want to go get a business degree, right?
Hmm.
So
And use that for your social media.
yeah, and not even just for the social media alone. Once I find something that I want, like my passion and what I want to pursue,
Hmm.
other than just helping people making their lives better, like an actual product possibly, I'll have the people on social media to promote that too. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like building in advance, right? Kind of
Yeah, that's smart.
following. Yeah, I think it's going to work out well, but there's no blueprint for it necessarily, right? Like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I
you don't need a blueprint.
Yeah, exactly. So I think a lot of people feel like they do need a blueprint, right?
Yeah, you're
But
right.
you, I feel like a lot of people feel like that, but you really don't because I saw this thing and it was like a bunch of people who are successful now, and it was at 23, J.K. Rowling was broke, and at 23, Jeff Bezos, his net worth was like zero or something. Like,
Yeah, and look at them now.
yeah, and look at them now. It's like people can turn their lives around just with hard work, right, and dedication.
Exactly.
So I think it's crazy what people are able to do, you know. And I think that both of us are going to be able to do big things, regardless of
Yes,
the
sir.
direction we head in. Yes, sir. And yeah, um, I don't know what else I got on here in my notes. I think we talked about a lot. Um, when I was leaving on my Instagram, you made me a post, very nice.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
I haven't read that thing in forever.
I went back and read it. It's so long. I was gonna read it on here, but I wanted to bring up that you and Lucas said that you would train to ride your bikes to come to Cali. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry that has not happened.
After this COVID situation, do you think that this is still a possibility?
I think it is actually. I've actually been thinking about driving to Cali.
Yeah, because you said something about a road trip the other day, right? When we were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really want to do a road trip across the country.
that would
And
be
what
dope.
yeah, that'd be sick.
And I think it goes back to the whole like trying to experience things, right? So you go
Exactly.
skydiving, the road trips. It's like shit that people are not willing to do, you know? And it's
Hmm.
like because they're scared of whatever, or they feel like they need to go to school or whatever. You can make it all work,
Yeah, that's
right?
the thing. Like the thing with the road trip is that's so easy. That's such an easy thing to do.
Yeah,
Like as long as you have like a couple $1,000s or whatever just for backup,
yeah,
like I could just drive. I mean, hopefully the my car will be okay. But like that's such a easy thing to do that's like obtainable, I guess. Like I don't have to really go out of my way. Well, you know what I mean?
yeah. I get what you mean. That as
Like
long as
that's
you have the resources,
exactly.
then
That's
you can
something
make
I
it
could
work.
easily do.
Yeah,
And like I feel like a lot of people wouldn't do that
yeah.
just because they're scared. I don't know.
I
But
agree.
like I'm just trying to do shit with my life, you know? Like
Yeah.
experience I went to Costa Rica this summer
Hmm.
on a missions trip,
Yeah.
and that was probably like one of the coolest experiences of my life.
Hmm.
And I learned something. So originally, I didn't want to go because I didn't want to miss like 2 weeks of work.
Yeah.
I like a lot of because I have for a car, right? And
Hmm.
like that was the biggest reason why I didn't want to go. And then I
Yeah.
ended up going, and I kind of realized that like experiences and like doing things is so
Hmm.
much more rewarding and cool and like good for your life than like things are.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, I've kind of realized this as well. Is right. I got a C in calc last semester. Right. I got a C in calc. It's not great. Right. I love an A.
Yeah.
And but it is what it is. Right. Failed a couple tests. It is what it is. Right. I'm not the smartest kid, but I'm pretty smart. But nobody's gonna give a shit about the C I got in calc in 2 years from now or 3 years from now. Right.
You're right.
Or nobody's gonna care about my social media following when I'm dead, and that's why I want to build it, but then use it for something good, right? Nobody's gonna care that I have 58K on Instagram or some shit, or like a million on Instagram or a million on YouTube, unless I'm really doing something impactful with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And and then individually, right? I'm gonna look back on high school, right? And then going into high school, I wanted to be the valedictorian, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I was pretty smart back when I lived there. I think you remember.
Yeah, no,
And
you're smart.
yeah,
So was I.
yeah, we were we both.
And now we're just retarded now.
But um, my second semester of math that year, I don't remember what it translates to because they have different names on the East and West Coast. But
Hmm.
I got a B plus, right? So I was like, shit, bro, my chances of valedictorian are over, right? Because all these kids
Hmm.
got A's and everything. I was like, man, I'm so fucked. So, but even if I did win valedictorian, it wouldn't have mattered in 4 years. No one's gonna say, "Oh my God, that's the 2020 class
Yeah,
valedictorian." Like, holy
high school
shit!
valedictorian.
Like, it's about. I feel like school's almost irrelevant, and that's why I'm kind of just like, it's not irrelevant. That's kind of stupid to claim, but it's irrelevant if you don't necessarily need it in your life,
Nah,
right?
you're right.
Like, let's say, like, I worked my ass off to pass the AP Chem test, right? But I don't even want to go into chemistry, right? So like I look back on some of the things I did and like why did I do them? Like for what? Right? Cuz I could have put that time into doing something that I want to do or something
Yeah,
that
you're right.
benefited me more. And I think it's just like that allocation of time and like how you're using your time that you're being given, right?
Hmm.
I don't regret studying for the AP Chem test because it felt good to pass it. right? But I just think it's kind of like learning how to use your time, and I think you're doing that well, right? And with your like future plans, right? Because if you're gonna go to community college for 2, and then possibly college for 7 years on top of that, or like 5 or whatever it is, and then being able to experience things like skydiving and like a road trip across the country, bro. There's so many places that you can see, right? That aren't a
Mhm.
bunch of trees in New Jersey, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'll show you when I'm able to go outside again, like how amazing Cali is, right? And if you walk across the street from my house, there's just all these trails, right? And if you go up to the top, you're basically on like the top of a hill, like a
Yeah.
flat hill, and you could see like the whole town, and you could 360 around it,
That's so
and
cool.
it's so cool. And I think when I first got here, I was like, oh shit, this is so dope. But then as time went on, you become accustomed to the things that are around you,
And it's not as
and
cool anymore.
yeah, it's not as cool anymore. But I love to show that to other people because growing up, I just lived, I just did the same things over and over again,
Mhm.
right? Even though my life was great, like the coolest thing I got to do with my neighbors was we'd walk to Wawa or 7-Eleven, right? And
Yeah.
of course, we have hella memories from those times, but that was like the holy grail of like, hey, mom, could we go watch the 7-Eleven? Yeah, sure. And we're like, let's fucking go. Right? We're like hype as shit. So I think it's crazy how much even just you and I have grown, or like the people have grown that were around us, looking back 4 years ago till now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
there's so much more to life
yeah,
and then walking to 7-Eleven.
yeah, so much more. But I think even just like relationships in general, because, you know, for me and you, like, we're always going to be good friends, right? And I can always
Yeah.
call you up, you can always call me up. But for a lot of people, like, I lost my relationships with them when I left
Yeah.
with no closure. And for me, like, then I moved here and I had no friends and I had to sit alone. And it was like, damn, I got no friends in both areas.
Yeah.
And for so long, I was like, damn, bro, why do I have like no closure on these relationships? Right. And like, why do all these people back home not want to be friends with me? And then as time went on, and now I'm kind of like, it really doesn't matter, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, the whole thing's over with. They're moving on with their lives. They're doing good things in their lives. I'm moving on with mine, doing good things in mine. So it's not, I don't know. I just stopped overthinking everything, I think is what it is.
It's crazy that you said that because um you know how I moved schools in 6th grade
Yeah.
and I felt the same exact way you
Yeah.
felt and then I became friends with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were my first friend
Yeah.
in middle school when I moved schools.
Yeah. And that's something we never really talked about ever, right? Because I know that you moved schools, and then we became cool, and then we became best friends, and it was like you, me, and Jacob,
Mhm.
and then, but we never really talked about that because I don't think it's a feeling that people really feel comfortable talking about, right?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely not.
because like even like some of my closest friends, like I haven't talked to in like years, bro, right? And it's like if I don't hit up people, they're not gonna hit me up. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's like damn, right? It's like you hate to see it, but I've also stopped caring since then, right? Because that was like my first 2 years of high school when I was still like wanting the close relationships that I had, with
Yeah.
like people like you and Luke and shit like that. So um now I don't necessarily need those as much, and I'm okay with shit like this and being able to call you up and talk, and we could still be just as comfortable with each other as we once were.
Yeah.
And it kind
We'll
of like
never lose
teaches
this.
you, like, bro, like time does not break like a true friendship, like it
No,
really.
definitely not.
So, um, with that being said, I think that's all I got. If there's anything you want to talk about or bring up, ask me.
Man, you should have told me that before. I could have like thought of things.
Yeah. I'm gonna start doing that, but I could
Is it?
definitely have you on again in the future. We're gonna have
Is
my
this your
brother.
first one?
No, this is my second one. I did one with
Second
my
one.
brother Ryan.
Oh wait,
Um,
yeah, I think I saw that.
yeah. So he wants to be on them as kind of like a co-host in the future, but he had like a test like today and tomorrow, and that's like when I scheduled like all my shit. So it doesn't really work out this time. I got another one later today, but um, yeah, bro, I'd love to have you on again in the future. You
I
know,
love to come on.
yeah.
Good
So
talking to you.
yeah, so I think that's good enough for today. We probably had like 30 minutes or so. It's probably yeah. So with that being said, um, I'll see you later. Right?
I'll see you.
And, yep. All right. Peace, guys.